Hey guys, welcome back. Lugnuts here, and today we're going to do something a little different. Today I'm going to be assembling and reviewing a Harbor Freight engine stand. Find out if this thing is worth it or a waste of money. Hey guys, so as you know, on my project, if you know my channel, I'm working on restoring a 79 Trans Am, and one of the projects is to rebuild the motor. Yeah, that big, ugly pile of crap sitting over there. So I need to get it off of the crate and onto an engine stand. And as you can see, I do have an engine stand sitting here, but there's a problem with that engine stand, and that is it's missing the wheels. Did some research, and it was like 10 bucks for a wheel, but it would take 2 to 3 months to ship to me, and I need it in days, not months. So that wasn't going to work. It was a loaner. A friend of mine loaned it to me, but he said, "Hey, I'm missing one of the wheels," and I just couldn't find it. Went to a couple of local supply houses, and nobody had a wheel, and so yeah. Out of luck on that. So I went on to online and did some searching, did some Googling, did some research, and found there's a lot of options for engine stands in range and price from all over the place. From including this one, I think it was like $100 I think he paid for that one. I'm not too sure. I know it was more expensive than the Harbor Freight, because when I told him how much I paid for that, he thought even the regular price without the coupon price for this was cheaper than what he paid. But it is good. And today we're going to unbox this, assemble it, and find out if it was worth the money. So this regular price I think was like 60 bucks. I got it with the 25% off coupon. They had a special sale last weekend for 25% off, so I used that coupon, and it cost me, with tax and everything out the door, it was 48 bucks. All right, let's open this bad boy up and see what's inside. Also, while I was at Harbor Freight, I also picked up this roller seat. Again, 25% off. I think the regular price is 26 bucks on this, so less than 20 bucks. It's worth it. Worth it for 20 bucks to see if it's something worth getting or not, and if it sucks, I'll let you know. But first, the engine stand. I could already see some differences between this one and that one, or that one just has a triangulated gusset. They actually welded on a big chunk of metal here. A lot more welding in here than that one. So that's just got a couple of tack spot welds on it, where this is fully bead welded all the way around. So that's pretty good. Bag of bolts. Those are always good. The elusive metal wheel, that one's missing. Looks to be the same wheel too. A very similar wheel, that's for sure. One of the front casters, the other front caster. This is the rear section with the axles. Handle, other wheel. This is the bottom brace support beam, and the mounting brackets. Now this is where I do notice a difference, where on that one they used box steel, and this one is just flat piece of plate steel. I'm not sure which is better. they're both rated for the same amount of weight, so I would assume that they both stand up pretty good to holding the engine, so at least I hope it does. So those are all the pieces. Let's assemble this and then put that on it, see how it holds that. It's a pretty heavy engine, so let's see how that holds that engine up and go from there. Couple of differences I've noticed between this is all assembled, tighten all the bolts down, except for these bolts, because that's where it mounts the engine, and I still got to mount the engine onto this. So as I noted, these are different. This one's boxed, this one's flat plate steel. Not sure which is better. Guess we'll find out. I know this one worked. We had it on an engine similar weight in size to this engine, so I know this can hold an engine. Don't know if this can hold an engine, so we're going to find that out. Other differences are this just has a little pin that it only engages half of this, where this has a full pin that goes all the way down through. I like that a little better. The other difference I noticed was where this bottom axle bar attaches with 2 bolts to this housing, then this goes in and is attached with another bolt. Where in this one, everything's all assembled using the same 1 bolt. It's a big bolt, but it's only 1 bolt holding that whole center contraption together, where this has 3 bolts holding that whole center hub together. The 1 bolt may be just fine, but I do like this one having the extra 2 bolts, because it also makes it easier for separation. Just take that center section out, store the 2 pieces. Where this one, when you unbolt it, you're taking the whole thing apart. And the other difference I noticed is how the casters attach to the front. This one goes to a plate. Those one goes through the inside, so actually making this one easier to assemble to get those front casters on versus that one. And now, another thing I noticed, this one has smoother casters on the rotation side than that one. Again, this one's a more expensive unit than this one, and I think that's where you're going to see the price differences when you look at the higher end, more expensive $200 ones. The caster quality of the bearings much better. Some casters can cost $25-50 a piece. So think about that when you're looking at these. So where they shave on the cost is, I mean, it's just a steel beam, not much savings in there, but your savings you're going to find is in the casters. And so for something that's going to get light home duty use, these should be okay. If I was going to have a professional shop where I'm working on engines all the time and I'm taking these things in and out of cars and this is rolling around the shop all day long, I'm going to want a better caster on there. I'm going to want a better, you know, unit up here. There's some with hand cranks that make it easier to spin the motor around. On something where you're going to be using a lot of use out of it, I would not get this. I would invest in a much more expensive, higher quality unit, but I'm not going to be working on engines all day long. I'm not going to be doing this every single day. This is just to pull the engine out of that, to put it on here, to rebuild it, and put it back in the car. Let's get the engine on here and see how it actually does what it's supposed to do, and that is hold an engine. Okay, so got the engine off the crate. On here, which this is, if you're pulling engine, this is a nice thing to have. This basically levels the load. So if I crank on this, this shifts the load front and back. So right now I have it basically pretty level. That can come in real handy when pulling a motor in and out of the car. Nice to have the engine level and be able to level it. It just makes it much easier job pulling the motor out. And this engine lift actually is not a Harbor Freight one. This is actually a better quality one. I've had it for a number of years, but I bought it. It's a 2-ton, so it's a little bit heavier duty, a little bit bigger one. And there's some 1-ton ones out there. Unless you're just working on small little cars with 4-cylinder engines, you want to get the 2-ton lift. It's got a longer throw, longer reach, so especially on a car like this that has a big long nose on it, you get in deeper and get the engine out easier. So, and it, you know, handles a lot more weight. So anything you're doing, pretty much I would recommend getting a 2-ton lift. So I got the engine up. Now I just need to bolt that on the back, but unfortunately I don't have any bolts to bolt it on. So I'm gonna have to run out and get some bolts to bolt this on. And what I'm going to do to make it easy on myself is to install this. I'm actually going to take this out, bolt this on the engine, and then slide that on and then drop the whole thing down. Alright guys, back from the hardware store. I got my grade 8 bolts. So now I can bolt the bracket to the engine and then put it on the stand and see if I wasted 45 bucks or not. All right, now I can bolt this up. Well, this one here doesn't go in all the way. Well, it just goes in and stops. All the other ones go all the way through. This one doesn't. So I actually had to put a couple of washers to space this one out. And before I did this, I did thread in the bolt, took a measurement, so I know what I need. So I can put some extra washers on this one. Now, just lift this up a little bit. Now, see if this will support the motor. I'm going to leave this still hooked up, so at least we have a secondary this is still connected, but it's loose. So let me just check. everything seems good. Let's clean it off here and then rotate it and see how this functions. First thing I can see is this doesn't roll that great. Front casters do suck, I will have to say. Let's see how this rotates. Now hopefully I balanced it somewhat. And actually not too bad. It's a little top heavy, but not too bad. It's actually not too bad. Functions, it works, it holds the motor, just not the greatest, and I wish I got all the oil out, but apparently I didn't. I guess I did, because it's now on my garage floor. Yeah, anyways, I'm going to clean up the mess, and then yeah, I'm going to clean up the mess so then I can start taking the engine apart. So, hey, check out the next video. The next video is going to be me taking this engine apart. And then we'll, get to see how this engine stand functions on a daily basis, or a couple days at least of working, and maybe my opinion will change if it's worth it or not. But for 45 bucks, it holds the engine, and that's about all it does. But it's all it's supposed to do. So I need to get tearing this engine apart. Till next time, have a good one.